Good morning, afternoon, and evening. The My Recruits Report / Varsity Sports Show Experience. Man on the other end, Vince Delisio. I am the one and only Coach Perrone, who is going to make sure that we are in gallery view, which we are. Hey, great response on the show, Vince. Actually, we've got some big things right now in the works. Keep it quiet right now. We've been approached for some great opportunities to do some great things. The Varsity Sports Show and My Recruits are going to take some things to the next level, and we got some big people that want to be a part of it. I'm excited. I know you're excited.
Oh, I'm excited.
We have 5 amazing. This might be one of the best weeks for matchups. I wish we can go over every one. I've had people say, hey, you keep going over the same games. We try to bring you the stuff that's up at the top in the news. I'd like to next week, if it's okay with you, we're going to put out a couple of tweets, and we're going to let the public vote on the games we call next week.
Okay. That should be fun.
So we're going to put something out. We're going to do a competition. Put it out. Which game should we preview? And we'll put it out there, and we'll play with it. We'll have some fun. But this week, it's up to us. We're going to start out with 3-2 Lake Havasu at 5-1 Deer Valley. I'm going to let you start because you actually have really good knowledge of both teams.
Well, yeah, I know Coach Thompson out at Lake Havasu, and I know, first of all, people are going to say, oh, wow, Havasu, they're going to travel. These guys travel every week. They're used to this. They're used to driving 4 or 5 hours. It's not a big deal for them. So for them to jump in the buses and to drive it to Deer Valley, it's not as far as some of the other schools they've had to drive to. Now, I don't see them pulling out the win this week. They have had a talented backfield. Deer Valley is on the rebound from a tough loss at Buckeye last week. I think they're going to get it back on track. So Deer Valley being 5-1, I can confidently say that this is Deer Valley's game to lose.
You want to talk about talented backs overall. So Isaac Stopke, Lake Havasu, Cody Pelleton, who's probably one of the better athletes in that conference.
Yeah.
Lake Havasu's got 2 dudes over there. I have a lot of respect for that team and that staff. On the flip side, I have no idea how Deer Valley lost that game. Obviously, I don't know what Buckeye brings to the table, because I will tell you this, Deer Valley is a very good football team. Sitting at 5-1, probably in a position to run the rest of the way from what I remember on the schedule. An 8-2 team at worst. They had one of the most underrated running backs in the state in Ashton Hill. Big offensive monster in Damian Marquez. John West is off of transfer. He's one of the top DBs in the state. Young linebacker in Jacob Krutziger and Ty Thomas at wide receiver. They're packed.
Coach, I will tell you that what likely cost Deer Valley the game last week at Buckeye was the special teams play of Buckeye. They had some outstanding returns that they set up, punt returns, and a really strong running back that Buckeye had that Deer Valley didn't have an answer for. So if they're, I sense they'll be back on track this week, and that's, again, my opinion.
That was an interesting loss. I don't think they expected, like you said, to get outplayed on special teams, and not for nothing. That Buckeye really does a good job with their home crowd. It's loud there. I don't know, if anybody was out there and got a chance to hear, but Thursday night football, we like to call it a primetime game. The place was packed. You were parking 2 miles away at that one. But next, where do you want to go?
You know what? Let's go Liberty at Chaparral.
Wow. I cannot believe the Chaparral loss to Brophy, really how they were rolling. Chap now sitting at 4-3, losses to now Brophy, Queen Creek and Hamilton. I mean, Brophy and Hamilton are combined 4 points they've lost. Chaparral is by far the best 4-3 team in the country. Versus a 4-2 Liberty team where these guys are jockeying for top 6A playoff spots. I mean, what do I know about this point system and all this open crap? But what I do think is both of these teams are out of the open. I think a 3-loss and a 2-loss situation here. I think what you could be looking at is possibly who's going to win 6A. This could be the game. You know, these are two of the best. The defensive players on the Chaparral side of the ball, Vince. I mean, I've got some dudes over there. I actually got to spend some time with Jeffrey J.J. Holmes. This kid is a specimen. He's a linebacker. They play him down at the nose because he gets such a good push. You got Harkless and Eastwood at the backers. And Gavin Higley is one of the best two-way players, I think, in that conference as well. On the flip side, I mean, one of the best coach teams in the state. They just got their kicker eligible, and Nathan Hawkins. He was a transfer. He's a superstar. Two great young quarterbacks in Ochoa and Bruzen. Big offensive linemen, Tucker Allred, Leighton Vining. Kane Metz-Terrell is back off of the injury. Division I caliber receiver. Barrows, the tight end, another stud. And, I mean, Jax Stam, the hardest hitting safety in the state. No questions asked. Man. Where's the game? At Chaparral.
At Chaparral.
I can't see Brayton Silbor losing 2 games in a row, but I'm going to tell you what, man. Liberty's going to give him a run for their money. This is a coin flip. The line on this game in Vegas is Chaparral -1.
Yeah, I agree. I can't see, and I agree with the line, but I can't see Chaparral stumbling one more week. I mean, they're in front of their home crowd. They get it back on track this week, and they pull out the win. It's going to be hard fought, but they should get it.
Now, if Chaparral doesn't get aggressive defensively, this Liberty team will smack you in the mouth. You cannot sit back on these guys. They got the ability to stretch vertically. They've got a running back now. I'm going to say Chaparral, but they better be careful on defense. Okay. I'm going to go 5-1. Sorry, 6-0 Horizon. 6-0 Horizon versus 5-1 Saguaro. You know more about Saguaro than possibly anybody, so I'm going to let you kick it off with them.
All right, so let's talk about the visitors first. 6-0 Horizon, number 8 in the Open. Very talented quarterback, very talented running back, plays much bigger than he is. Strong line play up front, both lines. They've got this defensive lineman named Booby Santiago. He's got
Booby!
Yeah.
I call him Booby Miles from the movie. And I know it's Booby Santiago. Yeah. I just love calling him Booby Miles.
They are tough. We did a Thursday night game a couple of weeks back.
3 weeks ago, yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, where they hosted Apollo, and situation where Apollo, started off strong, and Horizon just wore them down, and it turned into a rout, and that clock was running. Again, they are the real deal. However, this is at Saguaro. Saguaro's 5-1. Their only stumble came against at Chap, a 1-point loss on a 2-point conversion attempt that they didn't get. Saguaro, multi-talented, outstanding quarterback, just committed to the University of Idaho. They've got a return man running back named Javen Jacobs. They've got Jaden Matthews. They've got some transfers that became eligible last week, a quarterback, a receiver, a running back, some defensive players. I mean, they are, for a school of 1,400, these guys are stacked. You got a secondary. You got a freshman corner that's starting named Dejan.
1,400, but 700 of them are football players.
Football players, right. So this one it's 8 versus 9 in the Open. It is going to be, it's an inter-region play. There's a lot at stake, not only
loser goes home.
The loser goes home. So implications not only for the open region, but also for the region itself.
Yeah.
I give it to Saguaro.
I think everybody is going to be on Saguaro for this game.
Yeah.
And honestly, I really believe that the Skylar Partridge kid, all he does is win, win, win. Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to find, I think he's going to try to find, I mean, Horizon knows how to hang in games. Yeah. And Saguaro, from what I understand, has a couple of bumps and bruises right now. Both teams know what's at stake in this. Both teams have great coaching. Both teams are going to be prepared. I think Tinsley, the cornerback, is going to be a big factor in this game, trying to be able to shut down their number one. Booby is going to play extremely physical.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Chaparral on the last second.
You mean Horizon?
I mean Horizon on the last second.
Now, I have an answer for Skylar Partridge, and he was our player of the game last week.
Yeah.
It's defensive end Tristan Monday.
He's a dude.
Yes, he is the player. He's the University of Arizona commit.
Yeah, my defensive coordinator once told me, doesn't matter how good the quarterback is, you can't throw from his back.
Yeah.
You know. So, all right, next.
Okay.
Let's go 6-0. Geez, how about this game? 6-0 Chandler versus 6-0 Queen Creek. Holy cow. Are things going to be rocking in Queen Creek come Friday? You don't know how bad I want to see this game, because I absolutely love everything Queen Creek's doing. I have become a huge fan. Coach S is absolutely just an awesome old school O-line, just in your face. We're gonna play physical football. On the flip side, so is Coach Gerritsen. This is going to be one of the most physical football games you will ever see. But you know, taking down the beast that is Chandler is going to be tough. I will say this: if somebody's going to do it, it's going to be this Queen Creek team. You know, I'm going to go with the upset and say Queen Creek at home finally finds a way to keep the dynasty season alive. As you can see, I like the dogs in Vegas.
Yeah, well, you know what? You read my mind, because I was going to say that, you know, you're the king of the hill. Sooner or later, the underdog is going to get the best of you, and you've got the two best teams in the state and two of the best teams in the country going at it, a slugfest. And Queen Creek not getting as much respect because they're kind of the new kids on the block, so to speak. They got a lot to prove, and the fact that it is at Queen Creek, I think they can pull off the upset this week. I
will say this, and I just want to point something out. Where Chandler gets into a little bit of an issue, which is very surprising, is Sandra Day O'Connor played them very, very physical in the first half of their game. O'Connor led that game 14-13 at the half. Chandler made some mistakes, but O'Connor made a lot of mistakes too. Queen Creek is the most physical team in the state. They will hit you, they will hit you again, and then they will hit you some more. I think they're going to leave everything on the line in this one. I mean, these guys are playing with that mentality. This is going to be interesting. I mean, you know, us versus the world is the Coach Gerritsen theory, and he's right. Everybody's, you know, always again. But I mean, you can't beat the coaching over there. The caliber of players at Chandler. It's going to be a tough one. But I'm going to go with Queen Creek. You haven't picked a winner in this one, but I think you're going to go with Chandler.
A lot of respect. I don't know the Queen Creek's new coach this year. I haven't had a chance to meet him. I know Coach Garrettson very well.
Yeah,
I met a few
Coach
of his
Sherman
players,
is a great guy.
And again, I think it's going to go down to the wire. That Queen Creek has an opportunity for the upset here, but it's hard to go against defending state champion when they're on a roll and they're undefeated, and until they lose, they are still the defending state champion. So I am ultimately going to go with Chandler here.
This is by far game of the day, week, month, year. So much so that, yes, I am going to have to drive out there. But if you can find a better game than Basha at Highland, you need to let me know, because 7-0 Basha, 6-0 Highland. The loser goes to the Open probably in this one. I mean, these are top 4 or 5 teams in the. I mean, Basha's been the one school I feel that really has left no doubt. And this is a big test for them. Real quick, player-wise, obviously everybody knows the phenom quarterback in Lamont Williams. They've got a great back and Ben Frick that shuffles in and out. Ty Robinson, long defensive end who gets after the quarterback. And I think they have one of the most underrated safeties in the state in Jordan Anderson. On the flip side, Highland is stacked with talent, Vince. I mean, stacked. Jace Patton, 15 catches, 220 yards, 4 touchdowns, arguably top 3 or 4 tight ends in the state. Kai Hanu, a 6'2", 200-pound wide receiver, transfer from Red Mountain. Everybody knows QB special, Gage Daly. Good things come in small packages. Ethan Swoboda, the brother of Evan Swoboda, Red Mountain transfer, 6'5" wide receiver. Kyle Wright, one of the most underrated cornerbacks, and take a chance on me at linebacker. Chance, Colt, I always screw the name, Colt Colvin at linebacker. I'm terrible with words. Man, I'll throw it to you because I have no idea who's going to win this game.
I can tell you already. A lot of respect for Coach Farrell here, state finalist last year in 6A. The host team, he's been there, he's done it. Both teams are very good. Obviously, Basha number 5 right now in the Open in this week's Open rankings. Highland number 6. I'm going to give it to Highland this week. It's going to be a hard-fought game. They're both undefeated, but Highland ultimately is going to be the victor here.
This is going to be an unbelievable football game. A couple of people whose opinions, I'm a big Coach Mack fan over at Basha. I think the Basha coaching staff is about as sound as a high school coaching staff can be. On the flip side, I've had some very, very, very opinionated people tell me Highland is the best coach team they've ever seen in the state. I mean, in the last few years. I think Highland brings so much to the table. I think it's such a great game. I mean, really, it's such a great game. I think Basha establishes themselves as an elite team and pulls this one off at Highland. I do. I think Basha runs the table, is going to be a 10-0 team, possibly a 2 seed, if not maybe better. Okay. I do believe that. I think Basha is the team that nobody wants to play right now. And I think Coach Mack's really gotten it. I mean, it's set up, man. And Williams knows this is his show, and the supporting cast right now around him is so good. Jace Patton, the tight end for Highland, is going to kill me for picking Basha. But I think Basha pulls this one out. But it's going to be a slam dunk, knockdown, drag out last play game. And you're going with Highland. So that's why we wanted to go different. Hey, I want to end this thing real quick, but I like to do the fire off round. I'm going to throw some games at you real quick. Let me know what you think here. Let's go with, here's a good one. Chavez travels down to Tucson. Boy, that Cesar Chavez team is packed. I'm going to go with Chavez.
Yeah, Chavez.
Coolidge at ALA Ironwood.
Oh my gosh.
I'm pulling some out.
Yeah, you definitely are. I don't know anything about either of those teams, and I should.
Coolidge, big and strong up front. Great coaching. I think they pull it off over at Ironwood.
Okay.
Desert Vista against Higley.
Got to go with the Knights, Higley.
Yeah, I'll go with that one. I'll say Higley pulls this out. Here's a good one. Gila Ridge comes up to take on a Greenway team that doesn't reflect really, their record doesn't reflect how good they are. I think Coach Cook and the boys get it done at Greenway.
Well, yeah, but don't underestimate the first female coach in big school history, and Coach Jessica Slaughter. So, it's a long drive, but if anybody can get it done, it's her. So.
No, you're right. And let me tell you something. One of the best wide receivers in the state of Arizona, Johnny Noriega, is on that Gila Ridge team that nobody knows about. And Johnny Noriega is a freak, top-end Division I caliber wide receiver. Northwest Christian travels to my crew over at Peoria. Peoria hurting on injuries right now. I definitely think my guys get it done over there. Peoria pulls this one out.
Yeah.
Here's a great one here. We usually spotlight them, but O'Connor goes to Boulder Creek. I think it's Boulder Creek's homecoming. Yeah, I know. I just picked up two great players at Boulder Creek. Jack McFarland, the all-pro tight end over at Boulder Creek.
Here's a question I have for you. Is O'Connor healthy?
O'Connor is healthy.
Okay, then
everybody's good.
The kind of schedule they've had, the Freedom Games they've had, they should pull this out.
O'Connor is healthy. Boulder Creek, huge win over Mountain Ridge last week, convincing. There was no answer for the Boulder Creek running game. This is going to be a great game. I mean, honestly, this is going to be a real good game. O'Connor, here's the deal. O'Connor wins this Boulder Creek game. They're finishing the year at 6-4 probably, and going to be really a team to be watched for in the playoffs.
Yeah. I
mean, like I said, you're starting to see the real O'Connor team start to creep out here week by week.
Well, they get in as a 15-16 seed with a 6-4 record, maybe a 13-14. They're going to travel.
I think they might be Vince. They might be an 8 or 9 at 6-4.
Really? So the possibility at an 8 that they could host. That should be
classic
postseason.
Classic West Valley matchup every year, best one ever. Verado at Millennium.
That's a toss up. Yeah.
I will say this: Millennium and Coach Early and the boys have lost some really close games. Millennium might be, I'd love to look this up real quick. Millennium might be 12 points away from being undefeated.
Wow.
I mean, they literally have lost almost every game by 2 to 4 to 5 points from what I know. Verado, sporadic. They put up 50, they might. So it's always a hard-fought game. Trey Nelson, they got a wide receiver over there at Verado who is unstoppable. At Millennium, tough place, tough crowd. Going to give it to the Tigers.
I gotta go with Verado here. 5-1. I mean, they've had a.
Are they 5-1?
They are 5-1.
Wow!
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
What's the new head coach over there? Congratulations to him.
It is.
He was the Tonopah Valley guy, right?
Yeah, Dustin Johnson.
I know the defensive coordinator Mike Willie over there very, very well. They have an excellent defensive coordinator. I'm going to tell you right now, he is one of the best defensive coordinators in the state. He's coached at so many great programs. This is going to be a classic matchup. I'll tell you, if you're on the west side and you want to catch a game, that's the one to catch. All right. I think we're going to wrap it up. We got some other things going on. For the Varsity Sports Show and its fearless leader, Vince Delicio, I am Mr. Personality, Coach Perrone. We want to thank you for joining us, and we will be back. We will let you know next week. You guys, we want to hear from the crowd. We want you to pick the games next week. You got it? Me, Vince, us, out. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the games.